Hey family, what's up? Welcome to the Hub. Hey, today I have my husband. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Coach Kaz.
I'm so happy that you made it to the show. So, just in case y'all don't know, this is my husband, Andy Henriquez, with his fine self. He is the founder, creator, and the master storyteller of the Master Storyteller Academy. He helps entrepreneurs, CEOs, and coaches transform their signature story in order to make more income and more impact.
See, that's what I married you right there, girl. You better tell it, girl. You go, girl. I got to take you on the road. I got to take you on the road. I do take you on the road.
You do
Yeah,
take me
you
on the
are.
road.
You are. That's right. We do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's right. Except right now, like we are
Right.
not on the road. We're
Right.
sort of at home.
Right. Exactly. So, hey, family. Today's a really special episode. I invited Andy to really just share maybe a little bit about our journey. I don't think we've really been able to get into that in the podcast so far. So, I really wanted to share our journey of how we came to be and just his insight from the man's perspective. Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to let you lead this conversation, Coach Kaz. And I'll just jump in.
So once upon a time, I went to this conference with 15,000 people. 15,000 people. And there was this glow around me. And he just had to know who this beautiful woman was. He had to touch the hem of my skirt.
So you're just gonna stick to that version of the story. That's how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna let you continue making this story that's got a little bit of truth in it and a little bit of exaggeration.
Rude.
So we definitely were at a conference where there was like 15,000 people. And the irony in it is that we were both living in Florida at the time, and we were in a conference all the way in California. I believe Anaheim, California, to be exact. And so go and hold, what do you believe we would actually like strike up a conversation and get connected all the way in California, only to discover that we both lived in Florida. And so we did connect. I don't know about touching the hem of your dress. I think you're confusing that with a Bible story someplace, but we exchanged telephone numbers. And I would say for years, Coach Kaz, we were just sort of like mutual friends that connected on the phone once a year.
Yeah, really. So? Yeah, in passing, see you at business things. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably just once a year. I don't know if any of you have that friend that you literally just talk to once a year, but when you do have a conversation, you sort of pick up exactly where you left off at, right? And then something happened though, where we reconnected.
Yeah.
What was that?
We went to a friend's barbecue. So for my ladies out there, it was a barbecue I didn't specifically want to go to because it was so far from my house. It was so far from my house. But I said, man, my girlfriend's been, inviting me. You ever been invited to some things? I said, maybe next time. Well, this was the next time.
And you know what? She must have been persistent because she was pretty far from my house too. And that same mutual friend of ours invited me also. And so that's when I got there and saw Coach Kaz. And once again, we sort of picked up where we left off and we started having a conversation. But it was sort of like a little bit like the scene in the movie where we started off, we're like at a party where there's a lot of other people. And there comes this moment where we get in conversation and it was as if nobody else was there, right? So we're in deep conversation. Now, what Coach Kaz may not tell you is there is a time in that conversation where I'm like, man, she is really locked in and she's awfully close. And I was like, I don't know, is she trying to tell me something? Because this girl is really close, really, really close.
Hey,
to
you gotta
my,
let them know.
what's the expression
To
they
your
say?
face.
Give me my 8 was supposed to be 8 inches or something.
I
And
don't know what that saying
you
is.
were infringing
I know
upon my
nothing
8 inches of
about that
separation. You know what I
saying.
mean?
No.
Yeah, you were
So
very, very
so pretty
close.
much our knees were touching, guys, and I was looking at him in the face with full intent and fully present. Okay, fully present. No one else was there, just watching his every word drop from his luscious, luscious
Oh my gosh,
lips.
cut it out. Yeah, but what's interesting is though, even after that, we were talking more often. We
Yeah,
weren't in the 1 year mode
once a
anymore.
week.
Yeah, maybe once a week, check in, maybe once every 2 weeks, sort of checking in.
No, it was once a week.
Um, and I think after that, you got in a relationship or you were in a relationship.
Nah, I was like at the tail end of a relationship,
She was like
you know.
closing the final chapter of a
Yeah.
previous relationship.
Yeah, that was ending. And let me tell y'all, okay, when I told this man that that chapter was done for real, he said, "Oh, we should get together in person."
Oh my God.
Iron
So
sharpens iron. Maybe we get together in person once a month. When do you want to get together? Now, mind you, that was on Sunday. I was leaving church and I was hungry. Can we say hungry? Girl, I said,
oh my
how
goodness.
about now? I literally said, how about right now?
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So yes, I did say, hey, we should get together, we should have lunch, and I meant in the future.
Mm,
And Coach Kaz was like, well, what are you doing right now? And
yeah.
I was like, when you say right now, are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about like now?
Yeah.
Like right now? She's like, yeah, right now. Like, what are you up to? And I was like, yeah, I'm available, but I was gonna get some sushi. You want to get some sushi? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, Plantation, which happened to be the city I was in. And she was like, yep. And so, yeah, that turned into quite a date. I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell that part.
So we sat down at this Thai sushi spot, which I had never been to one. This turns out to be his favorite thing to do. And we sat at that table for like 5 hours, y'all. It was crazy. We sat there for 5 hours and just talked about everything we'd been through in life and just all the things, our goals, our dreams. I think we went to the bathroom like 52 times because we drank a whole lot of water. And and we were just like in awe of each other. And I remember saying to him towards the end of the time, because we shut down the restaurant. I want to say we got there at 5 p.m. and the restaurant closed at 10 and the restaurant was shut down. Like, okay, y'all ain't got to go home. So I get to the out to the parking lot. And at the time I was driving a BMW, which I believe means brakeman's wallet. And it would shake. And my dad had just told me I need to put some oil in the car. And he said, you know what? This is what Andy said to me. He said, you know what? Let's go get that oil right now. Y'all. My love language is acts of service. When I say the pitter patter once again, the pitter patter.
Yeah, so we made our way over to Walmart.
Yes.
I think got you some motor oil, but we happened to go through the aisle that had the hula hoops.
Woo!
And so we decided to have fun. We're at Walmart, it's late night, we're delirious, I saw the hula hoop. We had a hula hoop competition. I'll let Coach Kaz tell you who won. Are you gonna be honest?
Won.
Okay, yeah. So I won the hula hoop competition.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah, I did win the hula hoop competition, just in case you wanted to know. And yeah, what's so crazy is we're done with all that, and then we're like, it's been 5 hours since we ate.
Yeah.
Even when we're sitting in the restaurant, we were done eating, and so
hungry.
The crazy thing is, we get back to the car, we add the oil, and then we both look at each other and was like, this is kind of strange, it's bizarre, but I'm hungry again. Are you hungry? And she says, yeah, I'm hungry. And then we go to IHOP.
Pause. But before that, he notices a guy was in his car with all of his clothes and all of his stuff before we left for Walmart. And when we came back and the guy was still there, you know what this guy did? He said, wait a moment. And he walks over to the guy's car to check on him, y'all. Good Samaritan. Oh, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter.
Oh my gosh. So the crazy thing is, we make our way over to IHOP, and
we ordered the same thing.
We ordered the same thing, and then we went right back into just more conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, the rest of our dates for like a month and a half were all like marathon dates, like
Yes.
8 hours. And
Walking on the
our family
beach.
members and friends must have been like, what is going on? Like, how are you with this dude for 8 hours? And why are you with her for 8 hours? What is going on?
Yeah.
And we were just having great conversation. We would go out to a place for coffee. She doesn't even really drink coffee at the time. But we would just have conversation, lots and lots of dialogue. And I think that that's one of the things that I noticed that a lot of times when you're coaching the women in your Real Love Network, is just the importance of just finding somebody that they have that ability to be able to communicate with, which is like everything in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Just in terms of our journey, guys, one of the biggest things I want to stress is the importance of being your authentic self. I was talking to one of our Real Love Network members the other day, and she was sharing with me, should I hold a part of me back? Right? My dad says I'm really giving. My dad says that I'm always doing. So maybe for the next situation, I hold back some of that. And the biggest thing is you have to be your authentic self, right? So if you're a quirky person that will do a hula hoop competition in the middle of Walmart, go ahead and do the hula hoop competition. If you're hangry and you're hungry 2 times during the day, go ahead and get that extra piece of bacon. You have to be authentically yourself.
Absolutely. And so, one of the things that I've enjoyed is just because I know the amount of work from the conversations we had, the amount of work that you put in. And I realized that for both of us, the only reason why our relationship has worked is because we both put in the work before the fact. Yeah. Right. And so a lot of people think that once you get in a relationship, then I'm going to work and I'm going to fix the other person and fix myself. And it's a full-time job trying to fix yourself, let alone trying to fix the person you're in a relationship with, right? And so a big part for us was that we had put in that work. I had done a lot of my personal work, was dealing with my own issues and so forth, and had been on the journey for a couple of years of putting in the work, and you had done the same thing. And I thought it was just the right timing for us. Yeah. And I think that before us putting in the work, somehow, some way that probably would have gotten messed up, right? Which once again just sort of validates what you do to be able to empower and help those women to just basically put in the work before the hand, right? So that they could be prepared for the relationship and not expect the relationship rather to complete them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Andy, I'm so happy that you're here. So long story short, we dated, had a really, really good time in our dating. And then when we got engaged,
that was pretty cool.
That was pretty amazing. So I was going to New York to support my man. He was speaking at a conference. It was around Thanksgiving. So I got my hair done. I got my new outfit. I was going to be the lady on his arm as he spoke at this event, maybe a couple hundred people. And I remember a song starting to play, My First, My Last, My Everything.
By Barry White. My first, my last, my everything.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So when that song started to play, I first suspected something because Andy is not really a guy that will turn on some music and say, let's dance. But he literally had me dance with him to that song like 5 times a couple weeks leading up to that. And I was like, but then I didn't think anything more of it. That, and I couldn't walk in the shoes that I bought. So I was pretty much stuck in one place. And this flash mob rose out of the crowd, y'all. A flash mob. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. They were doing like Broadway dances, kicks and lifts and twirls and all the things. I'm like, this is so cool. I need to do this at my next live event, right? That's all I could think. And then the music started to slow down. And a guy snapped his fingers and walked his way over to me. I'm like, oh, you're pulling people out of the crowd. Let's dance. I'll be a team player, even though I can't really walk in these shoes. No problem. So I'm there snapping, and the music stops. Andy walks from behind the line of dancers towards me, and he says, you know what? You thought you were here to support me, but really, it's for something bigger.
Yeah. I think you have that video up either on your
On
website
YouTube.
and
Yeah.
also on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you put Coach Kaz and Andy's surprise
Flash
proposal or
mob
something, flash mob.
proposal.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was
About 12,000 people have watched it so
yeah,
far.
that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
First of all, you sort of just made it sound like you weren't surprised just now. Were
No,
you
no, no,
surprised or
no, no.
what?
I was definitely
Okay,
surprised. I was
okay,
definitely surprised. I was just like, oh, that song. But then that was it. Like,
okay.
the hmm.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, flash mob proposal. And then she says yes, which is why I'm still sitting here, right?
I had I had the
Yeah,
snot coming down my nose. Well,
yeah.
actually, you said I didn't say yes.
You said yes.
You told
You
me
said
I didn't
yes.
say yes. If y'all watch the video, message me and tell me if you think I said yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said yes. And then of course we end up having this beautiful destination wedding
Ooh, wee.
in Mexico.
Listen to me. Now that was a trial and tribulation getting to that point, okay? Because my husband is fancy, okay? He wanted something not at the Ritz because that's too old school. He wanted like the modern and the chandeliers and the silver dangly things and all the things. And everything in my spirit would not allow me to spend $100,000. Actually, we were conservative. I think we were at $50,000 for the wedding. And I was like, there is nothing in me that feels like it's okay to be spending $1,000 a minute on a wedding. It just didn't go with my very being. I'm Caribbean, call me what you want to call me, but I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah. But the main thing you wanted was an experience. And so that's what we created.
I did want an experience. And oh my gosh, when I tell you people were mad about coming to our wedding, like, oh, I have to leave the kids at home. It was an adult all inclusive. Oh, I got to go away for 4 days. I'm like, yes, it is mandatory that you come for 4 days and have fun. And we got so much pushback. And let me tell you, 80 of our closest friends and family flew to Riviera Maya, Mexico, and had the time of their lives. We literally had people thanking us. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for this. This is my first vacation since I had kids. This is the first vacation ever. This is the best vacation ever. We had people saying, when is the reunion? Can we come on your anniversary trip? Oh!
Yeah. And I think part of the magic was that something else that you were intentional about when we were dating, of getting our friends and family to connect with one another.
Yeah.
And that's something I hear you tell your coaching clients all the time, with just like, hey, if this person's going to be a part of your life, then find a way to interject your lives so that you're not waiting to your wedding day. And, for the first time, family members are meeting one another, friends are meeting one another. And that created a lot of magic for us because a lot of those friendships are still formulated. And we even had friendships formulated across the aisle, meaning someone's connected to me, did not know you or your friends, and someone's connected to you and your friends. And now they've become friends. Yep. And so that was really
sending
something special.
Pictures from dinner dates. I'm like, what? Say word. My cousin and your best friend hanging out. Like, this is so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was big because what I realized most marriages, most weddings is what? Two people getting married, some people sitting at a table. You kind of look at auntie so-and-so. Oh, that's cool. You do some dancing. You might get drunk and that's it, right? And you see everybody again at the baby shower. You don't really know each other. So you kind of do a wave thing. It's weird and that's it. But because we were intentional along the way to our wedding day, at our wedding, it was like a family reunion. People already knew each other, knew of each other. Most of the folks already had connected. So this was like to solidify the relationship. And then after the wedding, every family gathering, most people were like, I'll be there. Oh, so-and-so's going to be there. I'll be there. And they know each other versus it being in the periphery. Like, no, that's my friend. That's my family. That's my people.
Yeah. I'm reflecting now because I get to see the work that you do in the lives of so many women that are looking to attract the right man in their lives, that I just remember that moment where I already knew this was your like magnificent obsession. I had seen all the, books on relationships you read, all the seminars and workshops, all the certification. You had also become a certified matchmaker with the Matchmaker Institute, all of these amazing things. And it was really, really awesome. You were already empowering people, but it was awesome to sort of watch you step 100% into that calling and that purpose.
Yeah.
And to just be able to witness the fruit of helping other people to be able to find that joy and to find those relationships that they want.
It warms my heart. And I tell you that Andy was my number one cheerleader to stepping into my genius zone, for stepping into my greatness. Because before this, I've been a coach, right? I've been a coach for almost 2 decades now, which is kind of crazy to say, right? So almost 2 decades I've been coaching.
You're not
And
old or anything, it's just 2 decades.
you know what? You know
Okay,
what?
I'm sorry.
Let me work on my
I'm sorry.
concealer.
Okay.
All right. So side eye shade. So what was I saying? Okay, 2 decades. I started out as a wellness coach, a business coach, a life coach. It came to a point where I just didn't like my coaching business. It's like, maybe this isn't my lane. Maybe this isn't my thing. Maybe I should look for something else. And I shut down my whole business, my whole coaching business, to be still. I let go of my clients, And I said, okay, well, what is it that I should be doing? Right. And I remember having a conversation with Andy, and he was just like, love. It's your magnificent obsession. When we meet strangers on the street, when we meet family, when we meet anyone, what is the thing that you gravitate towards? What is the thing you help people with when you're with your eyes closed? What's the thing that you love doing and actually works? You help people in their relationships.
Yep.
And I was just like, you make that sound so simple. My goodness. And I had that limiting belief, y'all, that I needed to be married for 97 years, maybe divorced twice, 9 kids, and all these things in order to do what I'm doing now. And that validation, that validating message that he gave to me was like, this is what you do. This is your calling.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you are so right. Like the light bulb went off. Right?
Yeah. And I think sometimes, you can't even blame yourself, right? Sometimes you're so close to what you're passionate about and so crazy about that you need somebody who's sort of on the outside, who can just sort of point it out for you. But now look, we got Coach Kaz, changing the impact in lives and helping women to be able to do the work so that they could attract the man that they want in their lives. So I'm happy to just, swing by, chit chat with you and the folks. And I just enjoy sitting back and watching the work be done.
Thank you, babe. And since we got married, I realized that professional women fall in one of two buckets, right? One side is they're focused on work. They're focused on the next project. They're focused on the goals. They're focused on their kids. They're focused on their family. They're focused on their community service. They're focused on their travel, well, pre-COVID, right? So they're focused on all these other things, saying love is going to come later. But when does later come? I have clients in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I even had somebody trying to be my client at 85. Okay. So there are people, in every age bracket. And you don't realize that time has passed until it's passed. Right. And then on the other side, there's the woman that's praying to Jesus. She's praying. She is praying for the Lord to send her man down to her in her condo. But she knows, for a fact, if a random man was in your apartment, you would scream and spray some peppermints, right? Like, that's it. We don't even open the door for strangers anymore, much less let them into our homes. So when is that going to work, right? Faith without works is dead, okay? Yeah. So I've created a new space for professional women to support them in their love journey. And what that looks like is supporting them in self-love, because for some of you, you are single as a dollar bill, ain't had a relationship in over a decade, and you're like, what do I do with this? So, okay, starting with self-love, then there's attraction. How do you now attract love into your life post-COVID, socially distant, safe, mask on, all the things? How do you do that? What does attraction look like? How do you get you somebody like a Andy, right? And then the last is really, how do you thrive in that relationship? And I'm still fumbling through that section too, right? Like, I am not immune to any of the things, but still having the support through it. Because just because you caught a man doesn't mean you know how to keep a man, right? So they're all different skill sets that, when you think about it, where did we learn about relationship. And more than likely, it was a dysfunctional family relationship, romantic comedies, or porn, right? Seriously, like where else do people learn about relationships, which is such a shame. And that's really why I exist as the premier love coach with an amazing community of professional women called the Real Love Network.
Mm.
So for those of you that are like, you know what, I want support in my love life, you know what, I want to be surrounded by other women that uplift me and celebrate me. I believe all women are wanted women. You are wanted, girl. Women achieving new triumphs every day. So you are wanted. But the question is, who do you want? Who do you want? Hey, are you for sure? And my magnificence, it really is in helping you in your choosing, because oftentimes our gut instinct could be a little bit off. And the person that you're leaning towards choosing may not be the one for you. And having a professional in your ear could be very, very helpful and life changing. So if you're saying to yourself, you know what, I want to check this out, I want some support in my love life, I want you to go to reallovenetwork.com. reallovenetwork.com. The doors of the Real Love Network are open. So come on in. And if you have a question, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Inspire Many. Okay? At Inspire Many. I love you guys. Andy, my goodness, this is so amazing. Thanks for hanging out with
Thanks for letting me
me.
come out. All right, family.
I
So
appreciate
glad I
you.
got to hang out. And you
How can they
guys,
find you?
who me? I mean,
Yeah.
you can find me at Andy Henriquez on Facebook, LinkedIn, on Twitter. And if you're on Instagram, you can find me at Show Up for Your Life.
Show up for your
Yes,
life.
yes.
I love you.
Love you too.
Let me kiss you. Oh. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, continue to love. Bye.
Bye.